We have the first films taken in the motorcade just after the assassination shots were heard. Dan Rather has that story in Dallas, Texas.
We are now going to run the films which were taken first at the Dallas airport. These are the films of then Vice President Lyndon Johnson and his wife, Lady Bird Johnson, at the Dallas International Airport as they arrived this morning from Fort Worth. Here is the late President John F. Kennedy and Mrs. Kennedy coming down the ramp at the Dallas airport. These films were taken slightly less than an hour and a half before President Kennedy was shot and killed in a motorcade in downtown Dallas. The usual receiving line, of course, a number of Dallas dignitaries and a lady who said that she had waited for 69 years to meet a president. Mrs. Kennedy had been given a bouquet of roses at the Dallas International Airport as a token of affection from the city of Dallas. President Kennedy had looked particularly hale and hearty on this Texas trip. We saw him Monday in Florida, and a number of the White House reporters remarked that he was looking more physically fit than he had at any time over the past year and a half or 2 years. This is part of the motorcade from the Dallas airport toward the downtown area. Shots taken just before the shooting occurred. This is Dallas's Parkland Hospital, where President Kennedy was taken after being mortally wounded. The president reportedly was alive when he reached the hospital, but he died a short time after arriving at the hospital. Some efforts were made when the presidential party first arrived at the hospital to keep pictures from being taken. The roses that Mrs. Kennedy had carried earlier were on the back seat of the automobile in which the president was shot. Now, these are scenes at a building across the street from the scene where President Kennedy was shot. Police immediately ringed this building. It's believed that the assassin was in this same building on either the 4th or 5th floor. Some empty cartridges have been found in that building. Witnesses said they believe 3 or 4 shots were fired. 4 empty cartridges were found in the building, which had been ringed by police. A number of suspects were picked up immediately. Practically anyone in the area who even gave a hint of looking suspicious was picked up. Considerable confusion in the immediate vicinity. Right there was the spot where the president was shot. This is part of the police contingent arriving to surround the building. Police thought they might be able to catch the assassin still in the building. They were unsuccessful in that. Police were heavily armed. They ringed not only the building, but about a 3-block area around this building, which, as I say, is located directly across from where the president was shot. This is practically the spot on the street where the president was shot. These pictures were taken just after the president had been taken to a hospital. Police made a systematic search of the building. They found no weapon. Up there on the 4th or 5th floor, perhaps out of one of those open windows, is where the assassin of President Kennedy is believed to have fired the fatal shots. We have no further information as yet from the hospital on the condition of Texas Governor John Connally, who was riding with President Kennedy and who also was critically wounded. Our last report from Parkland Hospital was that Governor Connally was in the operating room, that he was still alive but was in critical condition. Walter, you mentioned a short while ago that it was difficult to understand why we had not been apprised of the whereabouts of Lyndon Johnson, who will, of course, step up to the presidency in light of the tragic death today of John Fitzgerald Kennedy. We are in direct contact with Parkland Hospital. We're also in direct contact with Dallas Police and the FBI. We have a reporter with the Secret Service agents, and the word from all sources is that Mr. Johnson